The Trump administration allegedly allowed 17 members of El Chapo's family to enter the United States in a deal. So, Sharon Reed and Jordan Ho discussed this on Indisputable. Tyrone Bowman live on this evening. No shirt, no tie, just chilling, falling back. I'll be talking about a couple of stories throughout the duration of the evening. So let's go to the video. Let me make sure I got everything on silent here. So I don't want nothing disturbing us. So tell me what you think about it once you check it out. Let's get the volume up.
Cartel family members entered U.S. in a deal with the Trump administration. This has got to be a mistake. I mean, this is the guy who rode down that gold escalator, said, they're bringing drugs, these are criminals, right? So we got to get into this. Well, let's listen to Chuck Schumer try to bring attention to this on the Senate floor, shedding some light.
Well, Donald Trump and our Republican friends love to talk about border security, how they're tough on border security, more than just about anything else. So you can imagine our surprise to read that President Trump is making deals with drug cartels, El Chapo, to be precise, to come into our country. Amazing. This week, it's hard to believe, you can't make this stuff up. Reports came out that Donald Trump made a deal to allow 17 relatives of El Chapo, that's right, El Chapo, a dangerous, murderous, notorious drug lord in U.S. custody, into the United States. El Chapo was head of the notorious Sinaloa Cartel, which was designated a terrorist organization back in February. And now letting their relatives in? Republicans want to talk about importing criminals? Where is the outrage on Donald Trump letting the family of the world's most dangerous cartel enter the United States?
Where's the outrage? Chuck Schumer, who has kind of a monotone voice anyway, but we're also jaded and used to this disgusting hypocrisy that I think he just said the guy who was digging tunnels and escaped and was responsible for murders and all kinds of drugs just floating throughout the world. His cartel, the Trump administration's making a deal with? Let's give you more. Mexican Security Secretary Omar Garcia Harfuch confirmed Tuesday that 17 family members, cartel leaders, crossed into the U.S. last week as part of a deal between a son of the former head of the Sinaloa cartel and the Trump administration. Well, he said Trump's the biggest deal maker. Let's get into more of it. Mexican Security Secretary confirming a report by independent journalist Luis Chaparro that family members of Ovidio Guzman Lopez, who was extradited to the United States in 2023, had entered the U.S. Guzman Lopez is one of the brothers left running a faction of the Sinaloa cartel after notorious capo Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was imprisoned in the U.S. Video showed the family members walking across the border from Tijuana with their suitcases to waiting U.S. agents. Are they there to disappear them? Ship them off to CCOT? Maybe Guantanamo Bay at $26,000 per hour, those flights? Let's see what happens next, shall we? Rumors had circulated last week that the younger Guzman would plead guilty to avoid trial for several drug trafficking charges in the U.S. after being extradited in 2023. Garcia Harfuch confirmed the family members crossing in a radio interview and said it was clear to Mexican authorities that they were doing so after negotiations between Guzman Lopez and the United States government. He believed that was the case because the former cartel boss, whose lawyer said in January he had entered negotiations with U.S. authorities, had been pointing fingers at members of other criminal organizations, likely as part of a cooperation agreement. It is evident that his family is going to the U.S. because of a negotiation or after an offer that the Department of Justice is giving him, Garcia Harfuch said. The AP with the details. He said that none of the family members were being pursued by Mexican authorities, and that the government of U.S. President Donald Trump has to share information with Mexican prosecutors, something it has not yet done. Now, the confirmation by Garcia Harfuch comes the same day that the U.S. Attorney General's office announced it was charging a number of top cartel leaders with narco-terrorism for the first time since the Trump administration declared a number of cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Okay, this is all coming together. This is after, in October, Trump brought family members of a cartel crime victim on stage during a rally. I'm with you, J.D. Vance said. When Donald Trump is president, we're going to kick the cartel's asses. And we're going to do it for you and for every person in this room. Well, Jordan, they're doing it.
What's happening, Gavin?
They're doing some things. But who would have thought they're making deals? Look, in prosecutions, high-level ones, important targets, deals are made. But is this not very ironic?
It is. It is. And I think what's astounding is like nobody
What's happening?
seems to know why they made this deal. There are rumors about why, and one of the rumors is that one of the sons will plead guilty to drug charges, but 17 members of the family here? It's very confusing. And like you point out, from the previous tough talk on the campaign trail to just looking around the country at how aggressive they are being with undocumented people who did nothing, who have no criminal record. Just the violence and aggression from the state to crack down for show, it seems, to make it look like they're tough on crime or tough on the border or tough on immigrants. It's very bizarre that they are bringing in 17 people linked to what they say is a cartel into the country. I guess we just have to wait for more explanation, but I don't expect it to make sense.
Yeah, there's a judge in a couple of federal cases waiting for more information too. Okay. And apparently, Trump administration told the court, it's too much even for you. We can't show you. I think you're right. We're not going to learn much more here, but I feel safer already. Big time cartel, big time higher ups. And their family members are crossing the border, and they're being greeted by the same agents who have been disappearing other people who are holding babies and just kind of minding their own business. Got it.
Let me know what you think in the comment section. Tyrone Bowman Live. Thank you for watching. Never surrender. Never quit.